everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Angel Azzarra, and I'm a professional opera singer and voice teacher. And today I'm going to be reacting to Dimash Kudaibergen singing opera number 2. I know that a lot of you have requested my reactions and analysis of Ogni Pietra or Olimpico. I promise that it's coming, but I wanted to use, since this is my introduction to Dimash, or SOS Don't Rien was my introduction, I don't just want to give you guys a technical analysis, but I also want to study his technique myself. And I think that the best way to do that is to watch the evolution of his singing. So I'm not super familiar. If anybody wants to comment and tell me sort of chronologically the best way to go about it, that would be amazingly helpful. I am going to do opera number 2 because it looks like this also happened 2 years ago, a little bit after singer competition. So this is what I'm starting with. I also want to add that although I have not heard him sing this, I have heard Vitas sing opera number 2, so hopefully I won't be stopping in such awkward places as I did with SOS since I hadn't heard it before. And with that being said, let's get to the Dimash.
Строє, но я в нем один. Хлопнула дверь за спиной. Ветер осенний стучится в окно, плачет опять надо мной.
Already, his voice has such a warmer quality to Vitas's that I already am enjoying this performance more. I mean, I figured I probably would, but it's so funny that I can hear it just as soon as the song starts. And the reason why is because he's not trying to manipulate anything. This is clearly an easy section for him to sing, but the beauty of his tone alone is making me enjoy it more because it's such an exposed accompaniment right now. A lot of times singers, whether they're great singers or not, sort of protect themselves by having really richly textured orchestral scores underneath them, or piano accompaniment, or what have you. And right now, this, despite it being a pretty simple melody, is very exposed. So he has to rely on how relaxed he's singing and just pure beauty of tone. A lot of Mozart is written that way. A lot of pop ballads are written that way, where it's a really stripped out piano accompaniment, and you just have to have the goods. I think I'm stopping right before the big section. Sorry. But I just want to add, he's singing just in one genre right now, and it's staying very, very consistent, which is something that I didn't get to hear in SOS, and I'm glad that I'm hearing it now. This is sort of, and again, I have not seen his other stuff, so please don't come at me, but to me, this sounds like sort of core Dimash, like if he were to wake up in the morning and just sing while he's making himself breakfast, this is the sound that I would expect. I mean, we all knew it was coming. Even I knew it was coming this time. It's such a broader and richer timbre than the Vitas. I did not mean for this to be a comparison, but there was a point in my freshman year in college where literally all I would listen to outside of my own classical repertoire was Vitas singing the song. I was like obsessed with it for a point in time. As he goes up, he is doing the portamento that Vitas does, but when I hear Vitas do it, it sounds like he is vocally tracking into his upper head voice. It just sounds like a portamento for Dimash. It doesn't sound like he is trying to make sure that everything is lining up, because he clearly has an extensive classical background, and he probably has the muscle memory to advance through his registers. And you hear he's carrying up a lot more darkness than Vitas does, who has a very voix blanche sound, a very whited out voice. And it's just so good. Oh my gosh, you can still hear I'm sick, guys. I'm sorry. Still, it's just refusing to go away. It's nice just to watch him.
Мой-то струи, но я в нем один. Хлопнула дверь за спиной. Ветер осенний стучится в окно, плачет опять надо мной. Это судьба, а судьбу не могу я ни о чем простить. Только я знаю, как после меня станут ветроголазить.
I know, I keep stopping. It's so weird to listen to these for the first time and continually stop. Trust me, it hurts me more than it hurts you. You can hear him going more into Dimash tenor territory. It does not sound like a pop belt to me at all. It's not nasal enough. He's keeping it all so dark and chocolatey, and it just sounds so smooth. And he's achieving that by keeping it in a classical place and keeping it in tenor territory. You can see he's not smiling a lot when he's singing. He's not opening wider in the front than he is in the back. He's keeping it very relaxed. This isn't as technically sophisticated a song as SOS. When he goes up into not the upper portion of his range, but when he goes into those, it's as relaxed as if he were singing it the octave down like I am, because he's keeping everything open. And I don't want to say that he's carrying up weight. Rather, he is adding the correct amount of space as he goes up so that he can carry up the same amount. Imagine the voice is an elevator shaft that slowly draws to a point. As he's going, instead of letting that point continue, he is recreating the elevator as he goes. Like in Looney Tunes cartoons, I don't know why I keep going to metaphors, sorry, but like in a Looney Tunes cartoon, when you see them like shoveling a tunnel really, really quickly, that's what he's doing. He's creating his formant as he goes, which most singers do. But what is so impressive about him is that he's maintaining beauty of tone, and he's a man singing these insane high notes. I think this is the moment where the modulation comes in. But again, the song is kind of repetitive. This is not a difficult song for him to sing by any means. He's just having a good time and probably relying on a lot of muscle memory to achieve the things that he is achieving. But I really, really don't think that he could be ever in danger of struggling during this song, no matter how sick he was. what I do continue to hear is that space going up and the spin continuing, which as you're creating space to go up, it's really easy for singers to forget to manage their breath because they kind of are an antithesis of each other. You think that by creating space, you need to add more breath underneath you, but it's not the case. You actually need less breath to sing high. Imagine you're looking at organ pipes. When you go into the piccolo organs, when you go into the piccolo pipes, they're very, very small because they need less air. Of course, you might get a little confused looking at an organ because you'd see that they're very small and think they need less space. Not the case. That's where they differ from human voices. Human voices need more space to sing high and less air traveling through the chords, because when you sing higher, your chords are phonating on a much smaller portion of your chords. It's sort of zipping up or sliding up your chords as you sing. All right, here comes the modulation. Get ready. Why the staccato? Why do you do this to me? Okay, so as he's modulating up, the best part about this for me as an opera singer, I know I teach the other genres, but opera is my favorite, so whatever, is that you can hear the tiny difference in color that we hear through a computer or that they are hearing, the audience was hearing through the sound system. What sounds like it's just color changes is actually formant changes, because as you get higher, the overtones change depending on where you're singing and if you're singing correctly and if your mouth is placed correctly and if the support is correct and if all of these things are lining up, then you are producing overtones. Like, he does not need that mic. He doesn't need it at all. That mic is probably just because the space is so gigantic. He has to hit, I'm assuming, I don't know how big the room is, but I'm assuming it's humongous and there are a lot of people in the back rows. Even opera singers can't beat the stadium theaters that we have today. But what I'm hearing is those little color changes that are 100% him singing operatically, him singing in a correct formant, and him producing overtones, because every little thing is perfectly lined up. I'm so ready to hear him sing opera like you would not believe. Woof. Oh my gosh. Okay, I know that this was not a difficult song for him to sing, but it just brings me back to like when I used to listen to Vitas sing this all the time and being so impressed. And now I have improved as a musician and I have more sort of nitpicky taste in singers. And it's like I have a whole new opera number 2 to obsess over, which is really exciting because I used to listen to it a ton and then I got tired of listening to Vitas. So now I'm just gonna start afresh. Again, back to the analysis of what he's doing. I really don't know how to clearly explain the difficulties of just the operatic technique he's using as he extends into his upper register. But singers that only manage one genre, operatic singers who manage only one genre, spend their lifetime navigating those sirens. And that's all they do is is navigating the sirens of going up and down. And a lot of people use it as a vocal exercise to go 1-5 or tonic dominant and then back down. And he's doing it all on one breath. He's doing it as a man, which really cannot be stressed enough that he's singing this high in his head voice. But just to create those formants as you go consistently, and to do it with the correct amount of breath support to create overtones, is such a complicated thing to physicalize. It's like you're putting together a jigsaw puzzle like on the run, and you're doing it like while you're sprinting, and you're still putting it together. Like you don't even have a flat surface, and you're just like putting together a puzzle on your forearm and like running through the woods. Or as if you're playing violin, but as you're playing violin, you're also creating the shape of the violin over and over again, and then adjusting it to become a bass or whatever. And that is what is impressive about this song, even though it's not super difficult for him. Just the sheer amount of study that he has put in to the muscle memory required to sing this. And that's the thing. I know I call him a unicorn, and I know that everybody's like, he's an alien, he's a god. He is a talented musician who has worked extremely hard for an extremely long time. He's not a unicorn. Somebody born with his amount of natural talent could achieve what he's done if they put in just the sheer amount of work and dedication and sweat and tears that he's put into his technique. And that is what is so much more impressive to me. Not that he was like born with this, because he was not. Nobody's born with this amount of technique. No one. He was born with like a God-given gift. And then like Michelangelo sculpted it into something so perfect. And it just makes me want to go practice. So I think I might do that even with a cold. I might just go to the practice room and try doing some sirens through my upper registers. Everyone, thank you so much for watching and for all of your suggestions. I promise there is more Dimash coming soon on my Dimash journey. I am so glad that you have introduced me to him and that I'm able to follow the evolution of his vocal technique and analyze it as best I can. If you found this video informational or helpful at all, or if you just want to follow along on the journey, please like and subscribe, and toi 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 until next time.